Good morning, Power Parents, and welcome to Self Care Sunday. Say hello so that I know you are here. And it's the holiday season. I've got my holiday shirt on. So, huge thanks to Jackie Hoogler for making it for me. And so, whether you have just finished Hanukkah or maybe you're gearing up for Christmas or Kwanzaa coming up, as a parent, it feels like it's our job to fill everyone else's cup and make everything magical. And being the magic maker feels amazing for the first few years. And then many of us start to dread the holiday stress, and we're just tired of the pressure to make everything special. So I got a flu shot a few weeks ago, and the nurse was telling me how excited she was to be doing the Elf on the Shelf for the first time with her 2-year-old daughter. And I was like, I wanted to scream at her, no, don't do it. You were better than that elf. Oh my goodness. But I plastered on a plastic smile and I was like, oh, great. That sounds super fun. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, tell me about it 7 years from now, how much you like that dang elf. But it made me remember that feeling of being so hopeful. Like I loved Christmas and I loved being the magic maker. I was the one hosting the crafting parties for all of the kids. I'd bring all the cousins together and we would make an ornament and we would make cookies and I would organize like cookie exchanges with the parents and I would spend weeks planning and honestly like savoring the anticipation of the awesomeness of the holiday season. I loved it. But the magic faded and it started to be replaced with like stress and overwhelm. And then that new Grinch movie came out and the Cindy Lou Who song where it's like, where are you, Christmas? Yes, I'm tone deaf. Everybody tells me that. I know. But you know the song. And that started to like bring me to tears. And I realized that I completely lost that holiday magic and I didn't know how to get it back because I was just so freaking exhausted. So I host my family Christmas every single year. Everybody comes to my house and I spend hundreds of dollars and so many hours prepping and cleaning and decorating and buying gifts. And then when the holiday gathering came, I spent most of the time in the kitchen trying to like get all the stuff ready. And I was trying to like come out and do the gift exchange. And it was like herding cats because everybody and all the kids were like doing stuff in all these different rooms. And like I would drink an entire bottle of wine just to get through what is supposed to be an awesome festive event. But really, like it got to the point where the only good part was the leftovers the next day. And then one year I just said, nope, I am not doing it anymore. And I ordered 2 shawarma family platters. I reheated them in my oven where the turkey should be. And I just plunked them down on the table, tin trays and all, with like plastic forks and paper plates and a roll of paper towels. And I felt like I was making a statement to my family. Like I was trying to say, I am tired of all of you taking for granted that I am the one who has to clean my house and shop and prepare and work my butt off while you just show up and drink. And I'm tired of trying to impress you with this perfect Christmas gathering and you are never impressed. You're never helping with the dishes or making me feel like all of this was worth it. Like I am done. Statement. Okay. But instead of the disappointment or any of the reactions that I was expecting, my dad told me how nice it was that I wasn't working so hard this year. Like I was stunned, like speechless. And I realized that I was actually trying to gain his approval with these magical Christmas gatherings. And that was a lesson for me about like everything, about holidays and family and hosting, everything. So I'm going to share today the 3 things that I learned from that in the hopes that it makes your life just a little bit more jolly. Okay, lesson number 1, check your mind BS. What is your mind telling you that you should be doing or that you need to do in order to be this like mythical magic making creature spreading joy throughout all the land for the whole holiday season? Okay. Mine was telling me that I needed to make a traditional dinner with all of the fixings and that that's going to impress my family and make us all have happy Christmas memories. It's like the back of my mind, my old programming was telling me that doing that is what's going to make me a worthy daughter and sister and a valued and respected member of my family. So thank you, Mind BS, for that program. So my Mind BS was telling me so many things. So it was also telling me that I needed to have like a suitably decorated home and that I needed to have fun activities for my guests to do while I was cooking. But of course, like I could never be part of the fun because I was doing all that dinner with the fixings thing that was part of my Mind BS. Oh, and I also have to have thoughtful and fun gifts. And I needed to have so many gifts for my kids that my tree looked like a mall tree where you can't even like stand close enough to touch it. And of course, I needed to do magical holiday baking, not just regular baking. No, but like special holiday cookies with icing or like cool patterns and all of the magical things that were going to, of course, make Christmas so much better. And then we needed to do holiday crafts. And we had to make cards for the grandparents and do advent calendars and have matching pajama photo shoots and participate in all of the gatherings and gift exchanges and craft fairs. Oh, and paint the windows with fake snow because that's going to make everything so magical. And our kids are going to have a joyous childhood and they're never going to question how loved they are. This Mind BS is what makes us start to resent what is supposed to be a holly jolly time of year. And it sucks the magic away. Okay. So once we've checked our Mind BS, that brings me to my second lesson, which is to take back your power to choose. You choose how you live your life. This is your life. This is not a holiday Hallmark film. So you choose how you want your holiday to be. We can learn to make conscious choices about what is most important and then let go of everything else. And I can tell you that for me, as soon as I say that, my Mind BS tells me that everything is important. And if I let anything go, everything's going to fall apart and I will have failed. Thank you, Mind BS, but no. My shawarma experience proved that wrong. So let's get super clear on what's really important. If you could only pick 2 things as your like guiding values around the holidays, what would they be? Think about it for a second. My 2 would be fun and togetherness. Okay, so now I can look at my giant list of all the things that I need to do to make everything merry and ask myself for each one, does this align with my values? And if so, great. How can I make this more fun and more togetherness or quality time focused? So right off the bat, I'm going to say no to anything that is not going to be filling my cup. For me, there's so many holiday gatherings. And so if I am not looking forward to it, I'm going to say no. I'm going to go with, oh, sorry, I can't make it, but let's catch up after the holidays. And if I'm going to host, I'm going to be doing something super simple that requires little prep. So I could like make it a potluck, I could order in, I could have like pre-made frozen stuff. And then I'm going to focus on making it more fun. I love fun. I love like planning little contests and stuff. And you can see just from my body language that it lights me up. Fun is one of my values. And then I'm going to swap out all of that prep time that I'm now saving. And I am going to swap it out for quality time with family. Maybe like a family game. Or for me, I love to do puzzles. And so I love to put out like a 1,000-piece puzzle and it's going to take us all month to do. I love that. So you'll notice that I'm constantly choosing activities that light me up. But how do we know? How do we know what activities to get rid of and what activities to keep? Okay, so the best way to know if an activity is worth doing is to listen to your body. So let's think about holiday baking. Okay, so many of you listed it as one of your favorite memories. Yay! But I also have a friend who was stressing about how she hadn't started her baking yet and she had so much to do. So you can ask yourself, how do you feel about it? Is making those cookies going to light you up? You know, are you looking forward to it? Or does it feel like heavy and like, oh, I have this thing to do? And if it feels heavy, don't do it. I promise you, the world will not fall apart no matter what your mind BS is telling you. And so here is something that really shifted it for me, okay? I want my kids' holiday memories to be of mom doing things that make her happy, you know, happy in the kitchen or happy doing stuff with them, not mom stressing out about everything. Okay, that's what's going to make happy holiday memories for them, is that feeling of happiness that permeates the entire house. And you know what that means? That means that taking care of you is a huge part of making magical holidays, maybe even the most important part. We cannot be jolly if we are completely depleted. It's not possible. So while we're taking back our power to choose, I am going to choose to stop doing the things that empty my cup and consciously start doing more of the things that fill it. Okay? So I'm going to choose to actually be happy by dumping all the stressful activities. And I'm going to choose to model for my kids how to fill our cup in our busy, busy world. Isn't that a great thing to model for them? And I'm going to do that by prioritizing the things that matter the most to me. And your mind BS is going to tell you that you have no time. You have no time for you, honey. Mm-hmm. But you know that is total BS. So you could just tell it to chill. You do have time. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Like, for example, I bought myself some Christmas tea. Okay. Yay, it makes me happy. And I make sure to sit and hold my warm cup, smell the cinnamony goodness of it, and just be quiet for a few minutes because that feels good to me. Just a minute or two is going to start making me feel happier. Okay. Now, this is the last super cool lesson, and it connects to everything that we just talked about. Okay. What I learned is that if you are happy, like genuinely happy, then the kids are happy. Okay. It's all about co-regulating your nervous system because we're all a social species. And so your nervous system is actually attuned to the people around you. So if you're stressed, they're going to be more stressed. And so when I was like what I thought I was, the hostess with the mostest, I was actually super stressed and honestly kind of angry and maybe like a little resentful. And that's going to be putting my kids and my guests on edge too. Okay. But I can only drop that stress and that resentment if I drop all the tasks that go along with it. Okay, so I have to cut my BS and stop caring about how clean or perfect my house or my food is. And when I'm doing that, I'm actually creating a better and more magical experience for all of my guests and my kids. It's the same thing with like the whole cookie thing. If I am stressed about having to do the Christmas baking, my kids are going to feel that. You can't fake this. This is communication that goes much deeper than your fake smile. And so the best way to get your kids to experience a magical holiday is for you to be doing things that actually feel good to you and that light you up. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be spreading that energy to your whole family. So I know if I find myself feeling stressed, I can like take advantage of the calmness around me to soothe myself, like use their nervous system to regulate mine. Like it goes both ways, right? And so a pet is perfect for this. If you have a pet, it's pretty much the whole basis for therapy animals. If you take a minute to cuddle that pet, your little fur baby, and actually like breathe and be with them, you are actually caring for your nervous system because you are going to start co-regulating. And it's the same thing if you've got a happy child. Like, if you can take a moment to really be present for their amazingly awesome rendition of Jingle Bells and just like be in the moment, you can take that joy into your body and see if you can grow it. And at the same time, you are soothing your nervous system so then you can take in more joy and be even more jolly. Yay. Okay. Tiny little techniques are going to shift everything for you. So it's important to remember that there is no one way to do the holidays. Okay. Some years you may be full of spirit and high energy, and that's great. But some years you're not going to be. And that means different things are going to feel good at different times. And all of that is fine. It's fine to do more some years and less other years. Okay. The key is to listen to your body and give it what it needs. And I'm going to tell you that for the kids, cuddling on the couch is just as magical as some of the higher energy activities. Okay. You are an amazing parent because you're continuing to show up for yourself and for your kids. And that's what's going to make the holidays magical. Okay. So to recap, the secret to making your holidays magical is to do more things that light you up and less things that drain you. Okay? That means that if you need to take time away from the kids to fill your own cup, that is still a magic making activity. High five for doing that, because it's your light and your joy that's going to make the magical memories for your kids, not the number of presents or how perfectly they're wrapped or how symmetrical or beautiful your Christmas tree is. Okay? And letting go of all of that is only possible when you challenge that mind BS. So if your mind BS is screaming at you to do more or that you have to do something, have a conversation with it. See what happens. Like ask it, really mind BS? Do I actually have to create a homemade advent calendar or bring my kid to see the mall Santa? Maybe, maybe just for this year, we can skip all of that. And the magical memory that we make could be like a tub of eggnog ice cream and a spoon for each of us, right? You are, after all, the magic maker, and you have the power to choose. Join me in my Blissfully Busy Facebook group to see if we can figure out how to dodge burnout together.